Well, how long you been city manager?
Little over 9.5 years.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Does it feel like 60?
No, not at all. I honestly, when I say that number, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
But then I look back, I've been looking through a lot of photos, trying to find photos of some of my favorite projects, and we've done so much in 9.5 years. The city council has put so many projects on the ground. Kilgore's an entirely different town in that time.
Yeah, yeah. You're probably gonna miss it a little bit.
I know I will. Yeah,
Maybe you will.
I've been stepping away slowly, and already I miss pieces of it already. It's
So I guess because this has been a while coming.
It has. I gave notice last April of 23, and I let the council know I'd started a small business, and it was time for them to start looking for a new city manager. I let them know I'd stick around. I didn't want to leave them in the lurch, but they're now in the middle of a second round of recruitment, and they've got a lot of great candidates, and the city's just in a whole different place than it was a year and a half ago, and it's ready for a breath of fresh air and a new perspective and new energy to move it forward and do even better, hopefully, than I did. That's what we always want. I want a better manager than I was to come in and find the things that I missed and make everything even better than what we were able to do while I was here.
All right. So, what's some of your background before you came into this position?
I've got a master's in public administration. I've got a master's in financial planning, and so I've built my career on financial planning for cities. I think that's probably one of the key things that got me hired here was my financial background. And Kilgore has very unique finances, a lot of ebbs and flows, a lot of peaks and valleys. And we've been able to ride that out really well. We're working right now on reestablishing street funding, but all of these things, that background of finance has really helped me to help bring attention to sustainability issues. And right now, streets are one of our biggest challenges. So this year's budget focuses on that. Let's see, I started with the city of Lubbock years ago. I worked in the private sector with a really big name financial planning firm in Miami. Came back, was finance director for Kerrville, finance director, then assistant city manager for Cedar Park, and then my family and I were blessed enough to find Kilgore. So it's truly been a blessing.
Now, one of your bigger projects that you've been pretty heavily involved with is the Texan Theater, right?
Texan Theater has been just a labor of love for me and a bunch of other volunteers. There are always projects that you can't quite get enough funding for, and you just need to sort of move it along. And there's been a group of people, including Chip Hale from Release, Texas, James Draper, other city staff members, who we've literally gone in there. We've done sheetrock. We rebuilt the balcony with help from the trust company halfway between here and Henderson. I mean, it's just, that's one of those projects that was definitely a labor of love, but we've had a lot. The mountain bike trail obviously was one. That was a group of buddies that weren't allowed to go to work during COVID, and we ended up building a 3.5-mile mountain bike trail that really kicked off the mountain bike scene in a different way in this region. It's allowed Tyler to expand their trails, and for me personally, it allowed us to start a company. I just got back from Utah, helping build a trail system there and revamp a trail system there for adaptive riders. So, that's one of the reasons I'm leaving is we started a company that kind of came out of the city project. That was all volunteer work, but people asked us to come help them with their trails, and we're all over now, building trails in multiple states and designing trails for big cities in Texas. It's been a strange evolution, but it's something that I'm really passionate about. It's this quality of life project.
What's your company called?
Vanguard Trailworks is the name of our company. And like I said, we just got back from Utah. We're working in the Houston area right now. We're working between here and there. I think I can say this, but we have a hand in a project in College Station right now that is very exciting. We're hoping to be doing some work in Louisiana. It's a wild ride, that's for sure. The private world is very different than the government world, but it's been a huge passion for us, and it allows me and my family to stay here in Kilgore. So that's a big piece. My wife was blessed enough to get laid off during COVID. She didn't see it as a blessing at the time, but now she's built her own CPA firm. She bought a commercial building downtown. We've had to work through all of the same rules with the city that everyone else does, and we're renovating that building, and that'll be her home office for her CPA firm, and we're staying in Kilgore. So,
well, that's great. It's an interesting path you've taken with the whole bike trails.
it is strange. People look at me and they think, how are you ever going to make any money? And I think, well, I just tell them honestly, I'll make much less money, but it's something that I'm passionate about. The city council, coming into Kilgore, I was very passionate about finances. I was very passionate about municipal long-range planning. After 20 years, I'm a little less passionate about that. But because of all of the quality of life projects that the city council put forward here, we built a baseball park, Whataburger Sports Complex. We have revamped the softball soccer complex. We built about 5 miles of paved walking trails. They allowed me and my buddies to build about 3.5, 4 miles of mountain bike trails. We redid the city pool. We built a splash pad. We built a skate park. I know I'm missing things, but I mean, the council has had such a focus on quality of life. That group of people just really wanted to make Kilgore something special. And as those things happened, we saw old buildings come down. We saw Chick-fil-A and Schlotzsky's and Panda, and just the coolest evolution of a city around the council's desire to improve quality of life for our citizens. So it's been a neat 9.5 years. I couldn't have asked for anything different or better. It's been such a blessing.
Taking care of business.
Yes, sir.
All right. Of course, we got to talk about one other thing.
What do you got?
The buzzards.
The buzzards. They've been joined now. All right, so the buzzards are still here. Unfortunately, our unselected, unofficial, not real mascot. We have what are they? I'm trying to remember what we call a group of buzzards.
It's not a gaggle. I can't remember.
Covey or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Last night I actually saw a Mississippi kite, which is a bird of prey. Really beautiful bird of prey headed towards them. So I don't know. Maybe we'll change up unofficial birds here sometime soon.
Yeah, the Kilgore Aviary.
That's right. We are a bird sanctuary city, as you know.
Oh, well,
So-
yeah. There you go. All right. Anything you'd like to add?
Now, just what an incredible blessing. I know that we leave a lot of work to be done here, and whoever gets to sit in this seat after me, I hope that they have as much fun and that it's as much of a blessing as it was for me.
All right. And of course, the buzzard effigy didn't quite work.
No, it didn't. It failed. They definitely tore that thing down in a hurry. It was a good effort.
Not one of us.
No, creativity is not always rewarded in municipal government. So that was a slight. It worked for a moment. It worked for about 2 days, and then they figured it out.
Well, there you go.
Jamie, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and getting to work with you, sir.
Good. Good with you.
Yep.
There you go.
Sorry about bumping.
That's all right. You can really feel it as you watch this.
Absolutely.